The Denver Broncos have set the stage to move on from Russell Wilson after benching the veteran for the final 2 weeks of their season. But the Broncos are unlikely to be selecting in the top 10 of the next NFL draft and therefore won't be in reach of one of the premier quarterback prospects. So Sean Payton and the rest of the organization must decide whether to build around a rookie quarterback on a team-friendly deal or spend significant resources on a veteran in an attempt to win right now. Here's a look at 6 potential scheme fits for Payton and the Broncos, both via the NFL draft and veteran options primed to be available this offseason. Nix Oregon. The Broncos should be selecting somewhere in Nix's range in the middle of the first round in April. Nix's arm strength and accuracy fueled the Ducks' prolific offense this season while passing for 4,508 yards with 45 touchdowns to just 3 interceptions. At 6'2" and 217 pounds, Nix is essentially a Drew Brees clone, which could lead to Payton believing he can build around and win big with Nix in Denver. Jarrett Stidham, Denver Broncos. Jarrett Stidham started instead of Wilson and passed for 224 yards with a touchdown while playing an instrumental role in the Broncos' 16-9 victory over the division rival Los Angeles Chargers. Payton has praised Stidham's ball security and decision-making, and it was Payton who pushed for Stidham as a veteran backup to Wilson. And the fact he'd have just 1 year remaining at $5 million in 2024 could work in the 27-year-old being a bargain candidate with upside for the Broncos next season. Zach Wilson, New York Jets. The New York Jets are going to move Zach Wilson ahead of Aaron Rodgers' return next season from a ruptured Achilles tendon. However, Wilson would cost the Broncos draft capital. Wilson has 1 year remaining on his rookie contract and is set to count upwards of $11 million against the cap next season. If the Broncos do trade for Wilson, it may require a repeat signing of the 24-year-old to a long-term extension before he even takes a snap in the Mile High City, similarly to how Denver approached Wilson's arrival 2 years ago. Kirk Cousins, Minnesota Vikings. Kirk Cousins might wind up being the most accomplished veteran quarterback available this offseason if the Minnesota Vikings decide to go in a younger, cheaper direction for 2024 and beyond. Cousins has many of the attributes of a quarterback that Payton seems to prefer. If Cousins becomes a free agent, it wouldn't be the least bit surprising if the Broncos aggressively pursue the 12-year veteran in hopes of maximizing the potential of a rather young receiving core with upside. Sam Howell, Washington Commanders. Sam Howell regressed down the stretch of the 2023 season, which could lead to the Commanders shopping the 23-year-old with 2 years remaining on his affordable and team-friendly rookie contract. If Payton believes that putting Howell behind the Broncos' offensive line with the playmakers in place at receiver can help the young quarterback cut down on sacks and turnovers, perhaps Denver could consider flipping a Day 2 selection to Washington for a young reclamation project to build around on the cheap. Desmond Ryder, Atlanta Falcons. After benching Desmond Ryder multiple times in 2023, the Falcons will most likely be heading in a different direction at quarterback in 2024. Ritter had a wildly inconsistent sophomore campaign, completing only 63.4% of his passes for 2,545 yards with 10 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. However, he has 2 more years remaining on his rookie contract and would only cost the Broncos $1.4 million against the cap in 2024 and $1.7 million in 2025, which could make it a bit less difficult to justify Wilson's colossal dead money charge at the position. Only time will tell what the Denver Broncos will do about the quarterback position, but it seems very likely that the days of Russell Wilson being the starting quarterback in Denver are over.